Yeah, hello and good evening to our Banter Blitz show for, yeah, what is that? Christmas Eve -3 or something. You call it like that. Yeah, I hope you're all fine, and we'll get right into some games. So, who has challenged me? Jonathan Russell. Ooh, very long name. Jonathan Russell. Let's go B3. Do something else. Yeah, I guess we have some familiar faces in the chat already from the German show, but also some new viewers. So I hope you're all well. Looking forward to Christmas. D5. Yeah, we get a reverse Sicilian. I'm basically playing like Fischer did in that famous game against Ulf Andersson from 1970. The Fischer played the hedgehog with white, quite shockingly for many observers, because that was a totally it was a very new and somewhat outlandish concept for the time, that you would place all the pawns on the third rank. But yeah, there was some method to this madness, as Fischer proved. So let's see how this goes. Jonathan here has played the bishop on d7. Yeah, it's kind of odd. It doesn't really serve a purpose. If you have the choice between putting it on d7 and having it on c8, you probably would rather go with c8. Why does that work? Don't think it does. No, that was just not working. I can just take it. Okay, yeah, okay, I'm happy to take. Okay, I have the pawn and the better pawn structure on top. Yeah, but how do we play here? Yeah, I guess on the queen side, rook c1. Yeah. Okay, so he has slightly improved the pawn structure, but one key point is that rook c4 will place the rook very dangerously on the fourth rank. So I can combine play against c and e pawn with play against his king. His king is quite open here. It's not like it will be an easy mate, but it is a weak spot in Black's camp. So let's go onto the fourth rank. If you can play a move that has more than one idea, it's often very much worth considering. Yeah, you can play against the queen side, and you can use the rook later against the black king. Okay. Yeah, the queen is, I believe, nicely placed on f5, and in case of rook takes d3, I can take c7. Okay. Rook d1, king h2. It was useful to have h3 played. Oh, wow. E5 also was hanging, but okay. Yeah, thanks for the game, Jonathan Russell 94617. Okay. Who else is challenging? Systemfehler. That is most likely a German account. Let's get going. I have a question, a very simple one, and something that I would have looked up myself, but I'm really not good at that during the show, looking up things. When exactly is the Norway chess tournament scheduled in 2019? I think it's like middle of the year, like April, May, June, something. It's not quite in the middle. Can some of you look that up? I would I'm curious when they scheduled it. Oh, that's the worst possible time. Okay. Okay. Yeah, thanks for the info. Very nice. Yeah. No, I only today was looking into trips to Norway, to the what is that actually in English? In German it is Nordkap. Yeah, you know, the most whatever. Yeah, you know, the point of Europe that is the farthest up north. Wow, that's difficult. I was wondering if this is an option to combine it with Norway chess, but that doesn't work. Yeah, it just doesn't work, because that is exactly the time when the German Junior Championships is going to take place. The North Cape. Maybe it is just the North Cape, yeah? Yeah, it could be just North Cape, yeah. So I cannot visit, absolutely impossible. I will be at the German Junior Championships for sure. I think it's the German Youth Championships technically. I think Junior it is only if you have it's below 20. Okay, went d5 here. Yeah, it's a bit annoying here. He has a bit of pressure. Not much. Okay, queen c4. I don't quite see as very dangerous. Yeah, thanks for asking. Misfortune asked if I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine again. I had some bad days earlier this week, but I guess it's this time of the year you can catch stomach bugs. And if you do, it's kind of ugh. Ugh. Yo, I wanted to go see. Now I see that c4 is a thing. Yeah, I only saw it now. That was not very well. Not very well played. Yeah, I do play the Petrov in over-the-board games. No, I didn't see that coming. Taking on c6 was stronger. Quite substantially stronger, I believe. Now I don't think it's a big deal. He wants to go bishop c3 is the idea. Yeah, okay. It's not, again, it's not very scared, which is probably just my over-optimistic self. Bishop c3, I planned c4. Maybe you can play bishop takes f6. That's a funny idea. Bishop f6, pawn takes b3, rook e7, this kind of thing. Meh. That's tough to believe. But rook b4, I take care he plays it. He just plays it. Yeah, maybe the alternative was just too bad. But I have a hard time to believe here that this works. Really? He's got rook f8. Aha. Wow, that's difficult to win. It's difficult to win this position. Or is he rook f3? Bishop c3 would be extremely cheeky, but maybe he does that. Oh, of course. Of course, as usual, the most ambitious move is played, and somehow it works by some whatever concept. Let's see if it really works. I thought you just have to play rook f8. Yeah, maybe he can play rook c7 check, king b8. He just resigns. Couldn't he do this and then move the bishop? Is that already lost? No idea what that is, yeah. But I'm quite surprised that he just resigned, yeah. Okay, thanks for the game, this Team Fehler. So, dann let's play Schach mal anders. Yeah, you get this rather often. Let's see how exactly he goes for it. King b1. Bishop d3. Yeah. That's not exactly ambitious, you know. Yeah, rook c7 was probably okay, yeah? As mentioned in the chat. Yeah, you can actually play b5 in such a position. It is not completely terrible. Okay, let's do it. Okay, knight d4. Yeah, I can just take this. Oops. Oops. Okay, now if I take on b3, it's okay, I guess. Now king b7 and queen to f5. I think this is probably about equal, this position. Don't really What's going on there in the chat? Don't argue. Okay, now I'm going to double on the e file. I'm a little bit quicker there. Yeah, I think the drunken lawyer is still rooting for Bayern. I know that you're a Bayern fan, but wouldn't you agree that if you make as many stupid things as the Bayern club leaders, that you deserve to be punished at least one season and somebody else wins the title? I really think this is the case. I have the deepest respect for what Bayern is usually doing, but if you just act like complete morons, you should be punished sometimes. And I think this is one of those years where they should be punished. Oh, there are still many matches in the Bundesliga. We are close to the end of the first, what is that called, turn. Okay, I'm not claiming to be better in this position, but I'm making very small steps. Very small steps forward. Aha. Aha. So if I now play rook takes b4, is that something that would help me? Or am I trapping my own rook or something? I don't think so. He's got rook a3, yeah, but I still should benefit from all this, I hoped. But maybe that is not really the case. Remarkable, yeah? He has, after rook a4, I don't have anything good. I mean, maybe I can actually play like this. And simply take h2, take the Fischer pawn. Yeah, I actually can do that because there is no g3, so I win a pawn. I do win a pawn. And I got the better pawn structure. Yeah, okay, that looks like maybe you can do something with this. Yeah, okay, that is a good idea. He wants to check me and play b6. Okay, let's go back. Now, if I play, is rook c8, is that a move or is that utterly stupid? Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. I'm so stupid. I have no other square. Then I have h8. Okay. Rook a8, you know. I can just about go there. And now he's got bloody f4. Couldn't he have played f4? Okay, then I can go back. But what on earth was I thinking? By going with this idea. This is just utterly crazy. He can go to a6, yeah. Yeah, come on. Yeah, okay, bishop f4. Yeah. I hoped that this might be a draw. I hoped. That was a bad way to try to draw it. Oh my god, I'm really making every mistake possible. G4 maybe. King f3, that's good technical play. And I blunder the bishop. I'm such a friggin' moron, sorry. Oh. I mean, I just outplayed him, and then I allow b7. This is just so crazy. I saw b7, but I thought that would be good for me, actually. That was absolutely terrible. You can, of course, just, I don't know, take b6 or whatever. And, yeah. You can also do something else here. I mean, rook a8 maybe, or rook a8 is maybe a good move. Yeah. Does he have a name in there? No. Okay, I'm not congratulating you with your real first name. So, congrats, schach mal anders. Okay, so I'm going to play Misfortune now. She already announced that she would beat me today. So let's see what happens. Yeah, I think always those games are painful, where you have like nothing and you outplay white slowly, and you basically have it, and then you do something totally crazy. I mean, maybe white was still okay, but you know, you're sitting in this position and you have just no winning idea, and then you get somewhere and you kill yourself. It's always extremely frustrating. The stonewall attack with white. Is it weak or maybe playable? Yeah, I don't quite know why somebody would want to play like this with white. You have many good alternatives. I mean, the general setup has some points. I mean, you can, in some cases, I think, build up a stonewall type of position. Let's say once you have played d4, b3, bishop b2, and then play knight e5 and into f4, something that, for example, Yusupov has played quite a bit. This is for sure a playable option. I mean, it cannot be like extremely bad, because the stonewall with black is kind of okay. It's not the greatest opening ever, but it is something that you can play. Yeah, I got a huge space advantage here, but she's fighting back, and she should. f5 is probably a good move. I should probably get the rest of my tea. Today I opted for a somewhat smaller teapot. Yeah, or as Power of Knights here, the London starting with the London system, and then playing for some f4 later is definitely something you see quite frequently. Yeah, I generally agree what Fuchsia is saying, that reversed openings where you play something that usually black plays with a tempo up are not very promising. But I mean, there are some things that do make sense. For example, I have played very successfully lines that would be classified as reversed Grünfeld. Yeah, a Grünfeld, a tempo up, is I wonder how that should be pronounced. I mean, I know that Grünfeld is right. He was Austrian, but it's always extremely difficult to all of a sudden in the middle of an English sentence go back to, yeah, a German name that should be pronounced in a German way. Yeah, anyway, let's go here. That is a somewhat surprising move. I thought she would try to regroup via f78 and so on. So let's have a look here. That looks like a very nice position. Yeah, this is the easiest, or the most obvious is the right term, idea forward. Just go for g4. I actually just spotted that b6 is hanging. That would that is the real way to do it. Just win the pawn. that is under pressure the whole time. And now knight c3 is a huge threat. Okay, nah, I don't want to trade rooks. Hoping a bit for rook e8, then I can take knight c3, win d5. I have enough time here to improve. Yeah, thanks for the feedback, Tom Petty. Those pawns are strong. Hello to Carl. He's very regular visitor. Not like every week, but always good to see him back. Oh yeah, black is really tied down there. I absolutely want to win d5, but now my main threat is f6, which was not really something that she could have avoided. Yeah, that's a bit too much. Yeah, thanks for the game, Misfortune. Okay, and Carl is actually challenging me, so let's play Carl. Don't think I played c4 in that session. Yeah, I lost those 2 games early on that were very costly, and then again I lost, yeah, against Schachmal Anders. Very expensive games. Yeah, that is true. In my Keep It Simple E4 book, there are some openings that definitely can be used by D4 players, like the Pirz modern, yeah, like D4, G6, D4, D6, E4 is definitely a good move. So I'm playing the Panov here against Carl. I don't really have a clue. I mean, I have a bit of a clue, but not. I don't really think you could call me knowledgeable here. But that cannot be right. That I don't believe. Yeah, probably just come back. Yeah, it's just a pawn. Giving me h7 with check. Oh. Yeah, thanks for the game, Carl. Yeah, it's something very interesting is that if you play c4, c6, e4, you all of a sudden get to the pawn-off, and it's not even a given that somebody playing c4, c6 does play the caro. So it can often lead to games where black is not all that knowledgeable. Okay, let's play the next game here against, I played him, Limoges. Why not? I only played him once. Yeah, I know, it's always tricky. You're all of a sudden sitting there. If you play me sitting there in a, it's a little bit like being on TV, I guess, or being on camera. It's kind of, whoo. Yeah, Limoges, what are you going to do? Knight f3. Yeah, I know that looks rather modest, but it has some interesting and in some cases even very aggressive ideas. Yeah, that is e3 poison, absolutely. That is that has been in a book, the system called e3 poison. Okay, yeah, I don't have to take yet. The moment when you have to take is the moment where black threatens d4. Then you have to take. Yeah, here I'm trying to play, oh interesting, just b6. I'm trying to play against, I wanted to say his IQP, but that doesn't happen now as he played b6. Now it is looking like we get a hanging pawns formation. I don't know. I think the e3 poison book has one problem. It is a little bit disorganized, which I do understand why that is. It's just it's a difficult to organize topic, but I think it is still quite interesting because, I mean, if you say, okay, it's still 400 pages, I'm not quite sure if it has 400 pages. I have it here somewhere. That is still not much for a wide repertoire. It's not a full repertoire even, but like with white, you can easily write 2,000 pages or something. Ask Neji or Boris Avruch or whatever. I started the work on the Keep It Simple D4 and it's not easy, I can tell you. I'm really struggling with getting something together that can be presented on 300 to 400 pages. It's not easy at all. Okay, here. Yeah. I need pressure against the d5 pawn. No, I didn't hear Carlsen rapping. I don't think I need that in my life. Oh, there's a book, 222 opening traps with e4 and d4. Okay, I don't know the book or the books if there are two. I think in general, short games, yeah, as we say in German, Kurzpartien, they are quite good actually, quite good study material for kids, for improving players, because you can often illustrate typical mistakes. This is not so much only opening mistakes, but also about other ideas like tactics. Often the opening can be quite tactical if you look at, let's say, open games. There was a book once, I think, Tactics in the Open Games, or I don't know. Yeah, this was the subject at least. And I felt this is a pretty good topic, because the open games, they are usually tactical, and this is very, very, I think, helpful for younger players. Yeah, because it's about piece play, it's about tactical skirmishes, yeah? And that can be quite good study material, I believe. Okay, now I'm trying to put some pressure against the center. Let's take it. I mean, the combination of like b6, d5, f5, that is a little bit Swiss cheesy. Yeah, that's going to be difficult, yeah, for him to cover everything. Nah, that looks very good for white. Bishop on b7 makes a pretty sad impression. Okay, rook d8. I can take on b6. Why not? Too greedy. Yeah, d5 is actually just hanging, yeah. There's very little reason not to take it. Yeah, in doubt, centralize. Can take even more material. Yeah, I just going to e5 is a good move. Yeah, and Limoges resigns. Yeah, I think the main point, and at this time I was answering some question, was he should definitely take with the b pawn here, I believe. I mean, something like that might be better for white, but if anything, it cannot be much. Okay, thanks for playing Limoges. Musabo is not. Heimer. I think there's nobody on. Oops, sorry for that. What's going on here? I cannot handle that. It's a new opponent here. TragicSack. I see him twice. Weird. Anyhow, let's get rolling. Maybe I can still restore the 2,800. So let's say what TragicSack is up to. I'm playing a little bit of a non-theoretical opening here. I have no clue. I didn't hear Magnus rapping, but I don't know. He had 10 seconds in the song, okay. Okay, so my setup here is a little bit non-theoretical, and it's not too bad, I hope. Gaining a bit of space on the queen side. Yeah, Tom Petty is talking about the Cyrus Lakdawala book on Ulf Andersson's repertoire. Yeah, this is a funny book. Yeah, I mean, I don't have it, but the funny thing is that I had exactly the same idea for an opening repertoire book. I was thinking to write this thing some years ago, and yeah, then Lakdawala did it first. I was thinking about some, I mean, I don't know how he did it, yeah, beat black like Ulf or something. I thought about titles like Equalize with White and Be Happy. That was my working title on that. I didn't really put in any hours, but I was thinking about the idea. I'm not going to recommend lines that are that dry in the d4, keep it simple. No, I won't feature the exchange King's Indian in my keep it simple d4 repertoire. That's pretty much a given. I don't think it is bad, don't get me wrong, but the King's Indian deserves a little bit more of deserves a tougher treatment. Yeah, he's doing a good job here, I think. TragicSack. Maybe I can, my idea was to make a8 look funky, but now it maybe is looking funky, but I might as well get checkmated, that's possible. Okay, this I'm going to take. I have a fairly clear idea how I'm going to win this game. The idea is to trade absolutely everything besides the a8 bishop. The rest I will trade. Or try to trade. Yeah, we'll see what I do against the King's Indian. Whew. That was a very drastic measure against this bishop. I mean, it was looking rather pale, but you didn't need to kill it. Didn't need it to commit suicide. Yeah, I'm not yet sure what to do. Yeah, that is a TragicSack, that's possible. Recommending a good line against the King's Indian is not really the problem of a d4 repertoire. Yeah, thanks a lot for playing, TragicSack. Okay, so who is on? Basti92, it's a new opponent. No, it's not like the King's Indian defense is so terrible. It's just that White has a pretty good range of testing lines, and it's not like there's just the one way that is super complicated and so on. You you can just select something and make a good point for this line. D4 repertoires have more issues with other things. In particular, Queen's Gambits, the whole E6 complex, D5, E6, Queen's Indian. This is very, very move order sensitive, and you also simply don't have an advantage, which is not such a big problem, but it's just you have there's so many lines. There are some positions in the Queen's Gambit where black has like 5 playable moves. And of course, you don't have to look at every single one of them in a keep it simple repertoire. You have to still cover it somehow. Knight e4 is a good move. Yeah, let's see what Basti is going to do. Maybe he has some idea. Okay, it takes on c4. I thought he would maybe play for some e6, e5 thing, but it doesn't look like it. Whoa, b5. That looks like a very weakening move. c6, c7. I have my doubts. That should be a problem. The Queen's Gambit declined exchange is usually recommended in repertoire books. And it's a very clear idea why. It's limiting the pawn structure, or you reduce the potential variance in pawn structures quite a bit. It makes a lot of sense, really. I will see. Knight takes b5. Yeah, maybe it was working, but this looks great. Yeah, actually. Ayechin's defense, is that the best black move in the opening? The Alekhines, I think it's quite interesting. Is it the best one? Maybe not. It's a bit risky, this opening, but I think it can be a good weapon for some occasions, let's say. It's not a very, I mean, the Alekhines defense is not an opening for everyone. Yeah. I think if people would tell me, you know, I cannot play, I need an example there. Let's say they tell me I cannot play the black side of, what is a good example? The black side of the Sicilian Taimanov, yeah, for example. then I think, yeah, I don't know, you got some general chess problem or something. It's just a very good position, yeah, or let's say a normal position, it makes sense, whatever, yeah, it's logical. But if somebody tells me, yeah, no, and it's the Alekhines, yeah, I would agree. Yeah, it gives space. It is very provocative. You ignore some rules, so I don't think it's an opening for everyone. But it can be played from time to time, of course. I have played the Alekhines once in a while, and it was quite okay. I won one very important game with it 2 years ago. But the Alekhines defense is not an opening that I would ever recommend people to pick up actively. I would just, if they already play it, let's say they're my student, yeah, and they tell me I play the Alekhines defense and I have a great score, then I would say, okay, you should probably know some other opening. Doing it every single time is a bit much, but there's no particular reason to drop it. But I would never recommend people to pick it up actively. It's a tough opening, and it's not, let's say, a habit that you have to take up. On the other hand, if somebody would tell me I would definitely want to learn a Sicilian, I would always support that idea, regardless who is the one asking. It just makes sense to have one in your repertoires. Not every single line though. Okay, anyway, so I can win another pawn there. Or maybe rook c8, that also looks quite powerful. Yeah, Chaba says, or asks what I'm thinking about Grishuk's statement that against d4, black is okay in many different variations, but against e4 there are just some e4, e5 lines, and the Sveshnikov-Naidov. I do understand what he's trying to say there, but I don't think this is totally irrelevant for normal people. I mean, you can definitely play many more openings on a normal level. Black didn't have bishop h2 check, I'm very sure, and a pawn on e5. Okay, so we have the old main line of the Petrov. So he's really going to play this hardcore theory line against me. Is that the case? That's cheeky. No, I also play. Still play 2 knight c6, not just the Petrov. Yeah, I play the Schalop defense against the. Okay, knight c3. Yeah, I have analyzed that for hours. Yeah, some weeks ago. What are you doing there? You've got 1800 in Blitz. You know all my theory here. This is crazy, Mr. Majewski. B5, C5, C5. Oh. TX. I cannot believe that he's playing all this against me. I've analyzed that. This is a very valid line. C takes knight f3, knight e6, queen b7, rook c8. That is my analysis. It goes on a couple of moves. What are you doing here? And this is not known theory. Knight c3 is already a novelty, which I took up to move 20 something, but he seems to, yeah, let's play. Here I got enough play because I have this counter play against c4, bishop b2 now, and then bishop b2, I think, is what I mostly analyzed. I mean, black has excellent piece play for the pawn. This is one of those lines that shows that the Petrov is not just some boring opening. You have many highly tactical lines like this one. Okay, let's take this tempo. I got this check and then bishop e5. Or I can also check on h3. Or bishop e5 first. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Not totally sure how I should continue. I mean, white has some problems to make active moves, but I don't know what to do myself. Not sure if knight e2 was such a great idea. I don't know. I need to make a move. Not let more time run down. I can now get something back, but it's not so great, I think. Sorry, my voice. Let's just activate more. Very tough to play. Maybe rook f6, maybe. Sorry. It's not easy to suggest a move for white here. Okay. Yeah, what am I supposed to play here? I don't quite have a good. I have no time. What kind of game is that? That guy plays like 20 moves of theory in a line that is not theory even. What kind of a game is that? I mean, it's in my book, but yeah, knight f1, knight rook g6 didn't work. I looked at it. Yeah, he played 20 moves that is in my book. It's nowhere else published, you know. It's not like it's common knowledge. I mean, maybe he's got my book on the Petrov and just wanted to test me in my own lines. That's possible. Yeah, my Chessable book. Yeah, that move was too early. He can just go rook d1. But I needed to speed up simply. I got no time. I have to flag him here. Yeah, whatever. No, it's published. Oh, Chessable. This I analyzed this up to here. Up to here. Yeah, anyway, it was a complicated game and I have no clue what happened here. I was definitely okay there, but yeah, but tough to play. Thanks for the game, Lawrence Trent, not Lawrence Trent, Lawrence Trent. Okay, Peter 1. Let's go, Peter 1. So let's go for something. Yeah, reversed openings we were talking about earlier. A very early c4 here by Peter. Now c4 is hanging. Going to be difficult now to suggest a move for black here. Yeah, it looked like he blundered it, but c4 and b6, that was just untimely. How does he cover d5 now? At the end of the d5 pawn. Yeah, that's quite a good success here. Getting the 2 pawns there. So yeah, I definitely like to get the bishop here as well. Yeah, this looks nice. Eh? It's 2 pawns and it's a big center. Very difficult to give black advice here. Not quite sure what the chat is talking about. What is about open Sicilian and Spanish? I don't quite follow. Yeah, here this is not the most difficult technical task. 2 extra center pawns and a pair of bishops is too much. Yeah, black has absolutely no counterplay. Okay, now, is there a way? I can go here. Yeah, let's go forward. If he takes on b4, there is rook to c7. It should be quite nice. Yeah, knight d7 is the only move, and then probably just e6. But many things win. Nice. Continuing this. Okay, not anymore. Thanks for the game, Peter 1. It's really essential. I just want to mention that It's not a good idea to play c4 so early in those structures. It's just a bit too early. There is a line where you can play c4 and white has knight c3, and you play like bishop b4, knight e7. It is not great, but maybe a playable line. But this, I think, is just mistimed. It's an ill-timed advance. Okay, who else is ChessExplained? Let's go ChessExplained. It's an older challenge. Oh, we're already nearing the end of the show. So time flies. Or can I do something entirely different? Well, let's go e6. Or maybe a Benoni. It's an opening that I'm not sure. The modern Benoni in tournament chess, I probably have played like twice or something. This is not a good move. Yeah, whenever bishop g5 gets played against a quick c5. Okay, Lawrence, then you have to look at your analysis again. White is not winning. I think white can probably hold. It's rather the opposite, but I mean, if you absolutely, I mean, you can. I'm absolutely happy to get your analysis and look at it. I mean, if you like to. I mean, you can compare it to what I've done and see if there are deviations, or I mean, if you really feel you found something there for white, you must have dug extremely deep, like, I don't know, 10, 20 hours for this line. I don't know how much time you invested and what hardware you used. I mean, one clear indicator for me that this is not great for white is that nobody played it, and it wasn't played in the World Championship match either. Even though I think maybe Fabiano wouldn't have played bishop d6 anyway. After the video leak, it looked a lot like he probably would have gone for the Chinese variation anyway, which is a very decent alternative with bishop f5 and bishop e7. Okay, so here a very, very thorough piece count suggests that I'm a piece up. Yeah, maybe modern opening books have a longer life, because I mean the engine. Yeah, well, what we definitely have nowadays is that any analysis in a decent book is computer checked, and you can be very sure that there is not like a blunder in there. I mean, it just doesn't happen anymore in a good book. And it might be that future engines, whatever, find improvements, and then maybe a line that was recommended some years before is not as great. Definitely possible, but you don't just have a blunder in there. I mean, there are extreme things in older books There was one time a friend of mine showed me a book. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. It had a diagram position, and that it said, now I suggest move the whatever, and then you look at it and say, hey, that blunders the queen, right? And it blundered the queen. Yeah, very, very simple. So this won't happen anymore. So you can definitely be sure that any modern book is blunder checked, and the lines would be definitely be usable. Yeah, they cannot be totally terrible. So like anybody could refute it over the board. Yeah, thanks for the game, Chesslet. Yeah, it's something I really want to emphasize. If you play bishop g5 in situations where the c-pawn has moved, this queen a5 is a constant trick. So always watch out for that. So what do we have there? I think one more game would be fine. What about Clicky? One game, Heimer. I've played most people. Is there somebody I've not played yet? I've played Power of Knights. Jason. No, I didn't play J. Voorhees. Okay. Let's see, what is that? Jason Voorhees? That is from one of those horror movies, right? I always confuse those movies. I think I've seen them at one point, but okay, so Jason plays the Italian. What horror movie is that? Friday the 13th or something? I don't really, I always confuse those things. Yeah, okay, so for the final game of all openings, okay, so I get a little bit of fun at least, yeah. He played h3, already castled, I'm not castled. Hey ho, let's go. That looks like good defense. Whatever. Pawn takes is better than bishop takes, I think. Yeah. He's right. That is a better move. After bishop takes, he would have had a really hard time to get rid of that pin, and now this is not such a big deal. Anyway, I'm going to retreat this. I mean, any modern opening product should not have blunders. Really not. I mean, what I think can happen, and I think I'm very certain that this happened to me as well. If you do video, we're not talking about a book. If you do video, and you are in the middle of presenting something, you can definitely confuse stuff. That happened to me for sure. That you want to present a certain line and then you confuse something and you just show something that you did not actually analyze beforehand, but something else. That can happen if you record a very long video and you're tired or whatever. That is absolutely understandable. But what you should not have in any written form or in a PGN file or whatnot, there should not be a blunder. It really shouldn't happen. Not in a modern opening. In a modern day opening product. That is what I tried to say, and not very successfully. So I don't know what to do with this position. I have really no clue. Take this. Yeah, he still has knight f5 all the time. Not very happy. Now against d4 I can play c4. I wonder what his idea is. I mean, not that he's playing badly or anything, but I just don't understand it. Does he want to take on f7 maybe? I haven't been to Gibraltar, no. I know a person who lived in Gibraltar for a bit of time, and I'm not talking about Jan Gustafsson. Yeah, he said that you can definitely play that tournament. It is it's a fantastically well-run event, but don't expect to do much besides playing chess, because there is just nothing. That's what he said. Is there a way to trap his rook? That would be cute. Probably not. And maybe I should have played c4. I mean, oh no. I mean, now he just allows it without me sacrificing stuff. Yeah, he said one issue with Gibraltar was that, I mean, you cannot really do much in Gibraltar itself. You can say, okay, let's go to Spain, but he said it's always a pain, because if you want to leave Gibraltar, you have to. I mean, Gibraltar is a crown territory, so it's not part of the European Union, and it's kind of complicated to actually leave the country. You have to do some custom procedures and yeah, like stuff that is kind of annoying. It takes a lot of time. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, I will still take. Rook e7, rook e6 leads to mate. It just goes back. Back. Tough to play this stuff. It's check actually. If I take on f6, it's check. Rook takes, check. That is annoying, really. Okay, so and run the d pawn. It's not like his position is super well coordinated. And I mean, I cover all those squares there. Knight cannot move due to mate and 2. Rook g2, knight f2 mate if the knight moves here. It's difficult to play for white. That mate? No. Rook e7. I'm blundering the friggin' pawn. This is extremely annoying, really. This. I have to flag him. Yeah, no alternative. Oh no, now he goes there. Now there's no flag. No flag and no, I mean, I'm not even worse, actually. Whoa, tough game. Yeah, thanks for the game, Jason, I guess I have to call him. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this final show before the Christmas days. I hope you have a good Christmas time if you celebrate. I'll be back on Wednesday the 26th. This is still a Christmas day in Germany, but I'm still going to be on. For me, all the family things will be done, and therefore, why not go back to some chess playing on that day. So December 26th should be on. Merry Christmas, bye bye.